Welcome to this bonus episode of the HIO show. At the time of this taping, the Canadiens led the NHL with 11 short-handed goals allowed this season. Rick, I think you killed penalties a bit during your career as a defenseman. What's the problem?
Well, I mean, look at the teams know that stat going into it, and the penalty killers probably take chances, obviously, to score against their power play, and they're doing it. But on the other side here, you got their power play. They got so much movement now. I mean, we talked about not enough movement. Now they have movement where they got five guys, all over the place, and nobody's really concerned about staying at the blue line, if you will. And a lot of times the blue line is left open. So if the puck gets poked away, away they go. And it seems that they try some high risk plays, in certain situations during the game, and it ends up costing them. So to really put your finger on one area, I think it's one of they just everybody wants to go, and nobody's really concerned with staying back, on the blue line, or thinking to back up when they're going forward. So it's costing them, but their power play has actually been quite entertaining to watch as of late.
Well, Knuckles, you didn't kill penalties, but you watched a lot of penalty killers from the penalty box, so you're a bit of an expert.
I killed a few in New York. I understood the penalty kill. Certainly, I love Lemire's system. And he loved having two defensemen in the corner and dropping the weak side forward to the front of the net, because defensemen battling in the corner in their own end of the rink, that's their bread and butter. So he loved having two D-men in the corner battling those forwards, and that weak side guy in front and the strong side forward in support, taking away the pass up the wall. But, I just think, and it might seem like I'm picking on the guy, but Mike Matheson is a great offensive player. I love his abilities, but he is a weak defenseman defensively, very weak, a lot of holes, and he's on the power play. 5-on-5, he gives up a lot. He gives up a lot in the power play too. And I'm not just putting it all on him, but he's a high-risk player. Some of those plays I see him make at the blue line, coughing the puck up, break away the other way, that's going to happen. So I think a lot has to do with that, not just him, but those high-risk plays around the blue line and guys really jumping in to the offense like the coach wants them to. But I'm certainly a guy that loves defensive play. And, yeah, I know you can't play defensive on the power play, but you got to use your head when it comes to not giving up shorthanded goals.
Yeah, I think this is one of those ones where something happening a lot in a short period of time in a situation where there aren't a lot of shots anyway, shorthanded shots, it can skew your perception a little bit. And this power play does have some inefficiencies on the defensive side. I think Mike Matheson is definitely someone. I think earlier in the season, Mike Matheson was breaking up a lot of chances against with his speed and his stick that were fumbled at the blue line, and that's happening a little bit less now. Whether that's just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and it's not happening in a specific stretch, or if it's whether he's actually playing poorly defensively compared to usual. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look at the shifts individually. But in terms of what the Canadiens are giving up on the power play right now, they're actually giving up less than the rest of the season. They're averaging 0.68 expected goals against per 60 minutes on the power play, and that's around the mid-range of the league. They rank about 19th worst, so top half of the league, I guess you could say. But they're giving up over 4 goals against per 60 minutes on the power play. So that's not great. The goalies maybe aren't saving the high-end shots that they're facing, which is a thing that happens. Shorthanded chances tend to be great chances. but it's not something that I think I'm worried about compared to the progress that the power play has seen. And I think I'd rather take a power play that takes a lot of risks to create a lot of offense than a team that's worried about the shorthanded chances, just building towards the future. Because the better you get, you can focus on the good stuff and then try to work on the stuff that's not working while that's functioning, as opposed to the last couple seasons where the power play has just been, frankly, hard to watch.
Well, the PK hasn't been much better either.
True.
Rick Knuckles mentioned, Lemaire's system with the two defensemen going in the corner. What was your favorite system to play, or the system you like to put in place when you were coaching the Canadiens defensemen as a PK system?
Well, I think it's understanding that if you're too passive, the opposition loves that because they can execute and do whatever they want. And predictability is key from the standpoint of, listen, there's a time that you have to pressure. There's a time when you have to have everybody on board, reacting and working together to get that puck out the first time. Not a half-ass clear that they're good at. It almost goes out. And I don't think that, they consistently understand that opposition loves to have time. Good teams that are given time, they're going to score. So you might as well change something, and let's get on board. So if they're going to beat us with a really good, play, then so be it. But let's make it difficult for them by not giving them the time, and let's have everybody, pushing when the area of the puck is right, and make it real difficult for the opposition. I don't see that. Occasionally I see them, chasing a little bit more, but then they come back.
They're very passive.
Very passive.
Very
and,
passive.
It's just a matter
As
of
they
time.
sit in 29th in the league on the PK.
Yeah.
It's a matter of
Rick told me, you're holding back, Rick. You told me the secret to the perfect PK: 4 forwards.
Knuckles, was Lemaire your favorite coach to play for?
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Yeah?
Was Lemaire your favorite coach to play for, or best coach you played for?
Yeah, Lemaire was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love Roger Nielsen was good. Bergie, I love Bergie. Mike Milbury, I loved playing for Milbury. And even Bob Berry. Yeah, the one guy, Jean Perron. Pudding head. Pudding head. I can't believe that guy was coaching in the NHL. For such a smart hockey man, Serge and Lemaire being such smart hockey men, I don't know what they were thinking when they hired this guy. I just don't know what they were thinking.
Well, he has a Stanley Cup ring, thanks in large
I know. Come on, but look at his career.
I know. I'm saying thanks in large part.
Close to a year and a half, okay?
Yeah, I know. I'm saying thanks to you two guys, Bob Gainey,
and Larry, and thank
the real
you.
coaches of that team, right, Knuckles?
Yep.
Anyway.
Pudding head.
Thanks for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. Go to montrealgazette.com/newsletters to sign up for the Hockey Inside Out newsletter. And of course, go to hockeyinsideout.com every day for all the latest Canadiens news. Always great having you guys on this bonus episode.